Lights up, cameras roll, stats in the fold. Kyle and Erik got the game on control. Daily grind, strategy defined. DFS huddle, money on the line. Huddle up, breaking it down. Big plays, big wins, all over town. Kyle and Erik, the duo supreme. DFS hustle, living the dream. Line up, huddle up, breaking it down. Big plays, big wins, all over town. Kyle and Erik, the duo supreme. DFS hustle, living the dream. Lineups tight, numbers ignite. Analytics sharper than a game day fight. Stacks on stacks, no time to relax. DFS huddle, we dropping the facts. Feel the heat, the picks elite. This the show where the sharp minds meet. Play so bold, they'll leave you stunned. Huddle's the spot where the money's won. Huddle up, breaking it down. Big plays, big wins, all over town. Kyle and Erik, the duo supreme. DFS hustle, living the dream. Huddle up, breaking it down. Big plays, big wins, all over town. Kyle and Erik, the duo supreme. DFS hustle, living the dream. This the DFS huddle, don't miss a beat. Kyle and Erik, where the game geeks meet. Cash lines hit, top of the slate. Tune in now, before it's too late. DFS huddle, don't miss a beat. Kyle and Erik, where the game geeks meet.
Yo, welcome in. DFS Huddle. It's the divisional round past wildcard weekend. Outside of my 49ers, no real surprises there. I can't believe the 49ers got it done. So we wait till this weekend to see if they can hang on and get to the championship game. DFS Bachelor at ETOF21 Sports. I want to remind you there's a link down below if you want all of our bets, DFS lineups, builds, however we do that stuff. Click the link, video description below. It's up to my boy Kevin watching live. We're going to break down the DFS slates. And Eric, I think we'll do it like we did last week. Saturday slate, then Sunday slate. But going back to the wildcard weekend, the only real surprise was the 49ers, I think, beating the Eagles. I thought the Eagles would, Niners with all the injuries on defense, especially able to pull it out. That was the one surprise. Other than that, the Steelers didn't belong in the playoffs, right? They needed to go. Almost wish you had like the college selection, right? Where you can, it says we're small on the screen. I don't know. We look normal on this screen. I don't know. Do we see? I have no idea, Kevin. It's probably because Kevin's huge. Kevin Hilmers is like a massive. So everything's small to you, dude. What do you mean? But please click the link wherever you're at, subscribe. But besides the 49ers, I think everything went how we kind of expected it to go. Didn't think the Chargers would look as bad as they looked, pretty inept. But other than that, what are your takeaways from wildcard weekend?
Bears voodoo is real. I have no idea how the hell they keep doing it. Packers should have won that game. Panthers were in a position to win. Would have been kind of crazy if somehow they would have stuck in it. And don't hire your friends. Sirianni had no business hiring one of his best friends to be the offensive coordinator, and it completely showed up. And there's no reason that team should have lost to your 49ers. Don't get me wrong. I have a 49ers future, but there's no way that team with all that talent should have lost that game.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy, and we're gonna get to that in the value in the McLaughlin. It must be Jaleel McLaughlin for Denver. We'll get to some of the value guys there. So let's start right here at quarterback. Tomorrow's Buffalo, Denver, 49ers, Seattle. Weather looks fine in both games, right? Not really. The weather factor is going to be the Sunday games, 2 snow games possibly on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Weather looks fine. The big news for tomorrow was really this midweek Sam Darnold type situation, right? Where he pulled up yesterday, left practice with an oblique strain or something with his oblique. I have him quarterback 4. Of the 4 quarterbacks on Saturday, Josh Allen 1, Brock Purdy 2, Bo Nix 3, and for me, distant 4th, Sam Darnold. Look, in the rush, you could argue Bo Nix ahead of Brock Purdy. I get it. Purdy's just shown the upside, and he's just they just have so many injuries. Like Purdy's got to do so much, so the ball's going to be in his hands a ton. So, but a lot of Josh Allen for me. He's 7,100 on DraftKings. He's, obviously much more than the other quarterbacks, but I think you can build a lineup just fine We'll build a lineup at the end, but for me, it's Josh Allen, Purdy, like I said, then Purdy, Bo Nix, and then Sam Darnold way down the list. I do not love the oblique. It only takes one play, one weird throw. Now he's already bad in big situations. He's not a real clutch guy. He hasn't played great. Didn't even play great their last game against the 49ers, where they won 13-3. He didn't look great in that game. Shanahan knows how to beat Sam Darnold. I don't know that the Niners are going to win that game, but for me, he's way down the list. What do you think at quarterback here on the Saturday slate?
First we got Josh Allen, 273-1, 33 on the ground. Has one passing touchdown in the last 3 games, taking out week 18, of course. When we look at it, are they going to be forced to throw? When I was kind of doing my data dive into this game, Bills like to run inside. Broncos are not really that good defending the inside run. Are they going to lean on that run game a little bit more because of the holes on their defense? But definitely Josh Allen, number 1 by far. Number 2, you can make an argument, Bo Nix or Brock Purdy. Like you said, Nix definitely has that rushing upside. Over the last 8 games, he has 10 touchdowns, 2 rushing, averaging 244 and 1 TD per game. At home, he's averaging 2 touchdowns a game. Went 144, but had 43 rushing yards last time these met. You met Brock Purdy. Has gone 260 and 2 touchdowns in 4 of his last 5 games since the bye. He's averaging 256. In their 5 road games this season, he has 14 scores, 1 rushing touchdown, and 5 picks. But you know what? Never lost in Seattle, my friend. He has never lost a game in Seattle. So I'll put Brock Purdy 3. Honestly, I want nothing to do with Sam Darnold, to be quite honest. Like, it's just a distant memory for me.
Yeah, and he's got the best wide receiver, on the slate, and they have the best matchup on the slate in terms of fantasy points allowed. But just Sam Darnold, I can't trust it. I think if Seattle wins, it's going to be a heavy dose of the ground game. Let's go to those running backs. Kevin mentioned Jaleel McLaughlin looking some value guys at 4,200. I just think there's wide receivers at a better price. But if you want to get a little different, I don't hate Jaleel McLaughlin. I think it's a Kenneth Walker week. I can see a world.
Finally,
this is the first time and the only time you're going to hear me say
finally here on the Walker trade.
Niners are not great against the run. I could see a world too where playing both Seattle running backs is fine.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you just want the whole ground game, that's how they're going to win this. The Niners allowed 10th most fantasy points to opposing running backs. Buffalo struggled a little bit too. I still have McCaffrey in just because, and I know he didn't play great against Seattle's D, and everyone knows he's getting the ball, but look, when he's going to get targeted in the passing game 7 times, it's hard to ignore it. It just takes the 1 rushing touchdown, receiving touchdown for him to go way over. I think you got to play McCaffrey. Then I got Kenneth Walker 2, RJ Harvey 3, James Cook 3, Charbonnet 4 is sort of how I have this with McCaffrey number 1. How do you want to do it? The lineup I made has McCaffrey and Kenneth Walker in at running back right now. I like that combo. What do you think?
I mean, just kind of looking at it, Zach Charbonnet, he's been under 55 yards in 6 of his last 8. But when you look at his last 2, 74 and 17 carries, has 2 catches in 4 or 5 games. I'm a Kenneth Walker believer. I believe in Kenneth Walker. I really like James Cook this weekend. I think because people think Denver is really good against the run, he's going to be under-owned. Denver likes to funnel everything to the outside, where they're elite, best in the league, but they're 22nd defending inside run. And that's where the Bills like to run. I think James Cook is going to be insanely undervalued this week, under-owned, has run for 100 yards in 2 straight meetings. RJ Harvey is there, but Sean Payton's got a weird thing where he doesn't give the ball to rookies. So I really like the look that was mentioned in the chat room for McLaughlin. I think he's going to be a little bit under-owned and a pivot that you can go to. Woody Marks could be the only game in town for the Texans with the Nico Collins lose.
Well, that's the Sunday slate. That's the Sunday slate.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No worries.
CMC. Seattle is really bad against receiving backs. He's gotten at least 6 receptions in the last 3 games he's played against Seattle. So in DK with the PPR format, I'm definitely interested in him. Kenneth Walker, I put a bet for him in the Patreon page. Make sure to click that link in the bio if you're interested for that. He has run 50 yards in 3 straight, including hitting at 95 yards twice. He's averaging 14 for 83 3 catches in the last 3 games, averaging 118 scrimmage yards over the last 3 games. I think this is going to be a heavy Kenneth Walker week, and I absolutely love him.
Yeah, and I give the edge to Walker over Charbonnet, the receiving upside. They're using him more and more in the passing game as well as teams focus on Njigba. So I like Fred and Tootin did look good last week and a few rushes against the Bills. One other guy, Ty Johnson, might play again this week. PPR formats. Again, Denver's really good at covering receivers. They're elite on the outside. Ty Johnson could see 4 or 5 targets in the passing game if you want to get cute. In tournaments, it looks like Ricky Pearsall is going to have a shot at playing. I think he's going to play. That does not change my view that Demarcus Robinson is going to be popular. I had him last week. He's 4,400. I still think he's a great wide receiver in terms of value receivers. The lineup I made, I'm going Smith and Jigba. Look, when you look at these 2 games, this is just going to be raw points. I don't think you're going to see a lot of guys hitting value. You're just going to need raw points. Smith and Jigba is going to get some points. It should be a low scoring game, probably will be. Smith and Jigba is just going to get those targets. In terms of value, Pat Bryant at 3,900. When you talk about some of these slot guys, decent matchup against Buffalo, you're going to see Tre'Davious White on Cortland Sutton. So guys like Franklin and Pat Bryant at 3,900, Demarcus Robinson at 4,400, I think makes a ton of sense. And Brandon Cooks at 4K, who was solid for us last week with some value. But then it's just like right now in my lineup, it's Shakir, Njigba, Demarcus Robinson. That's kind of how I'm running. Shakir, we saw it. Josh Allen said, screw it, it's playoff time. I'm just going to go with who I trust. So if you're going to throw the ball 12 times to Khalil Shakir over the middle of the field, which is a weakness of the Denver defense, especially even against tight ends, Denver kind of struggles against tight ends. I think that the Shakir, you're going to play him, is going to be popular in Jigba, and then for some value, Demarcus Robinson. And I got some interest in Pat Bryant and Brandon Cooks. That's about it for me. What do you think at wide receiver? I guess the sleepers here are going to be Franklin, Jennings, and Sutton. Do those guys break the slate? What do you think here?
Definitely like Pearsall if he plays. He had 4 for 108 in the week 1 meeting. You mentioned Demarcus Robinson. How can you not like him? Shakir, the 12 targets. He's definitely the guy that you're going to lean on. A guy that you didn't mention that I'm interested in. All of the guys you mentioned, I'm definitely interested in. Cortland Sutton had 10 targets in 4 of the last 5 games, has scored in 3 in 6, has 4 scores, 9 at home, went 5 for 75 the last time they met. I think they're going to pass the ball a lot more than people think in this game. As crazy as it sounds, I think the Broncos are going to look to actually go in the air. And I think Sutton is going to be a little bit undervalued, and he's definitely the 1A out in Denver.
Yeah, I just worry about Tre'Davious White sort of shutting him down. That Buffalo secondary is not bad. They are going to be a little short this week. Couple injuries, I believe, for Jordan Poyer. It's going to be out.
And the one thing that we forgot to mention is Shakir is going to be lined up on the inside, and what's his name? Surtain doesn't travel to the inside. He does just play. Exactly. So they're going to be hiding him. I would be a little bit hesitant of Brandon Cooks though because of that. Because I think he's probably going to travel with Cooks, don't you think?
Maybe.
But Curtis Samuel got active too. Is he going to be forgotten in the mix, or are we going to trust him in his first game back?
I just think you go with Khalil Shakir, and that's probably it. And then you go with the tight end position. We can move on to tight ends. That's where Denver had a weakness in terms of adjusted fantasy points allowed, etc. They were one of the 4 worst in the league covering opposing tight ends. Dalton Kincaid took a little bit to get going last week, but he eventually got in the end zone. Love him at 4,300. Jake Tonges at 3,400 is going to be filling in for the injured George Kittle. Brock Purdy likes Jake Tonges. They will go to Tonges in the red zone. I think if you run a double tight end lineup like I did and play a tight end in the flex, getting some salary relief, Jake Tonges, absolutely there for me. And one other guy at 3,300, Dawson Knox. That's where I'm going to go. Evan Ingram's a little bit interesting. The Bills were the number 1 team in the league this year in terms of fantasy points allowed to opposing tight ends. But again, if they're trying to throw it a little bit more, Buffalo, and they're stopping the run, which I don't know, I would try to run the ball against Buffalo, me personally, I suppose. But for me, I got it. Kincaid number 1, Tonjes number 2, AJ Barner 3, 49ers allow the 8th most fantasy points to opposing tight ends, and then Dawson Knox. I think all 4 of those tight ends are in play. What do you think this week?
There's only 2 I'm looking at. You mentioned both of them. We got Kincaid, had 5 targets, 3 catches, 28 yards in a TD, has 3 grabs and 4 with 5 with 2 scores. Has gone 6 in a row under 50 yards. I really think this is going to be the game we see him kind of break out with how bad Denver has been against the tight end position. I posted a bet for him in the Patreon. Make sure, guys, check that out. You'll get all of Kyle and my bets, lineups, the whole 9 yards. And your boy, Jake the Snake Hongas. Love him. In the last 2 games that Seattle has played the 49ers tight ends have been thrown to 13 times. And when we look at the last 3 games, Kittle did not play. Tongas had 7 catches, 6 catches, 7 catches. I believe it was 60 yards, 48 yards, and 42 yards. So he's definitely a focal point. He did score that last time in game 1 when he went out. Absolutely love him.
Don't sleep on Kyle Juszczyk for that first touchdown as well. Kyle Juszczyk, they're going to use him a little bit more when Kittle's out. Juszczyk always finds himself the ball a couple of times. Defensively, real quick here, of course, the 4 deep, you got the Seahawks, Broncos, Niners, Bills. The most expensive is the Seahawks, cheapest the 49ers. I like the Bills, 2,600. I could see, I do think Bo Nix is mistake prone. Of all the quarterbacks in the teams, the 2 that I think are most likely to commit a lot of errors from the pressure, etc., would be Sam Darnold and would be Bo Nix. I think the Bills at 2,600 I know it's on the road, but the Niners just can put up points too quickly. If they're on, they're on. So that's why I'm not in love with. I get playing the Seahawks defense. I don't hate it. Broncos going to be lower for how good the Broncos are. They're going to be lower owned, right? Because they're playing the Bills, and the sacks there should be the opportunity for the sacks. But I like the Bills at 2,600. What are you doing with the defenses this week?
I'm definitely going to look at Buffalo for sure. I think I am not high on this Broncos team at all. I think they're going to struggle. When you look at how Bo Nix has done against zone coverage, that is a big red flag, and that's what the Bills are going to run out for him. I think the Bills are going to stack up the box, make Bo try to throw the ball. So I'm definitely all in on the Bills. In terms of the other one, as crazy as it sounds, maybe the 49ers, Salah put on a masterclass last week with the Eagles. He potentially could do the same, take JSN away. And look, I think Darnold's going to play. I think we all know Darnold's going to play.
Oh, he's going to play. Yeah, he's going to play.
100%. There's a probability if he doesn't go, he goes and he re-aggravates it, then you got Drew Lock coming in. You know what I mean? So you could be in with the 49ers defense when you have Drew Lock at quarterback, and that's what you want to be in.
Interception waiting to happen. Jesus, me and my boy Donnie Rightside used to say, Jesus Christ, Drew Lock. Every time he throws it, it's just God awful. All right, let's get to Sunday's slate here. Let's jump to the quarterbacks. Now we've got 2 games. It's going to be cold. Snow. It looks like definite snow in the first. And
I'm out here in Chicago, and it is so fucking cold here.
It's going to be cold
on Earth.
It's going to be cold. So matchup wise, when you look at it, it's Stafford against the Bears. The Bears allow the 3rd most fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks. They can't stop anything. You're going to have snow in both games. And then you got that Houston, New England. I'm not touching Drake May against the Texans. That's not going to happen. And I don't really want CJ Stroud against New England in the snow either. So you got a deep dive, and you hear a lot of, Stafford in cold weather games. He hasn't been good with the Rams. But when you break it down, I've got every single game here. Every single game that has been 34, 35, or colder than 40 degrees in Matthew Stafford's career. When you break it down, here we go. In games under 40 degrees, Stafford is 7-11. He's been favored in 8 of those games and is 5-3. He's also had a QB rating of 100 or more in 7 of those 8 games and is 5-2 in those games. Stafford is 3-3 in freezing conditions with 1,519 yards passing, 15 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions. My point is, I'm not worried about Stafford. Devontae Adams, we know his years in Green Bay, can play in the cold. Puka Nacua is built to be a receiver in cold weather. I'm not all that concerned about the Rams offense. It's Stafford, then it's Caleb, The Rams defense did not look great either. And the Bears' confidence is building. If you play Caleb, be prepared to be stressed out and frustrated for 2.5, 3 quarters because he'll have like 5 fantasy points until the fourth quarter when they finally decide to pull their head out of their ass and fucking do something. But for me, on the Sunday slate, it's Bears and Rams. I'm just stacking the shit out of that and sprinkling in some Texans and Patriots. So quarterback easy for me. Stafford 1, Williams 2, May and Stroud a distant 3 and 4. What do you think at quarterback? Who do you prefer her, Caleb or Stafford? They're basically 500 apart. What do you think?
Obviously you got Matt Stafford, had 304, 3 TDs, 37 touchdowns in 12 games. Has gone 242 yards in 8 straight games, has 27 touchdowns in 10 road games. I mean, this guy, he's just been insane. And his benchmark, the last 2 out of the 3 is 320 and 3 TDs. Absolutely love Stafford. When I was doing my capping of the Pats and the Texans game, I noticed the Texans have struggled with mobile quarterbacks. So we're going to definitely have some Drake May rushing upside. When we look at it on the ground, at home, he's averaging 30 yards per game with 6 carries, had 243 and 3 TDs last game. And I'm interested with Drake May because the Texans struggle with a mobile quarterback. I want nothing to do with CJ Stroud. I put a write-up in the Patreon last week before the Steelers game, how much Stroud struggles against zone coverage, how much he struggles on the road, how much he struggles outdoors. CJ Stroud, especially with no Nico Collins, 100% off my list. Now you got Caleb Williams.
What doesn't CJ Stroud struggle against? He's fucking terrible. I don't know why. I mean, he's fucking bottom 5 in the league. I saw his people like CJ Stroud's dog shit at quarterback. End of story. But anyways, go ahead.
He only had 157 and 1 TD last meeting against the Rams. Had 361, 2 DTs, 2 interceptions, and 20 rushing yards. Most passing yards in a playoff debut since 2011. 6 straight games with exactly 2 touchdown passes. Look, I know the Rams defense looked bad, but they're going to be without their left tackle. Against that Rams front, that's definitely a concern with me. I think they're going to be able to get home to Caleb Williams. And Williams didn't start moving the ball against the Packers and scoring until the Packers went to the prevent defense. So that's another worry point for me.
I think it's Stafford. He's going to be popular. If you're doing the contrarian thing, I think you're right. You got to hope Drake May gets hot and scores early. But I don't know. I think it's just Stafford all the way. Don't fuck around. That's what I think. Right? I mean, it's Stafford.
You can make a t-shirt. Stafford all the way. Don't fuck around.
Yeah, but then I'd have to have Stafford. I'm not a Rams fan. You know what I mean? I'd rather get like a big cock Brock or something. Not exactly sure. Running backs. So here's where it sucks because none of these teams are reliable. I think you have to play Ramondre Stevenson. As much as I'm so fucking sick of Ramondre Stevenson, but you can't trust Travion Henderson anymore. Woody Marks against the Patriots is a tough matchup.
I mean, the thing is,
Wizard King, we are donkey boys. Nice.
You mentioned Woody Marks. The thing with them is since Milton Williams came back, they have really struggled. They have really done a lot better stopping the run. So that's the big thing right there. Woody Marks off the board. Ramondre Stevenson, he is the pass catching back. Guess which team is 30th DVOA defending the screen pass? That would be the Houston Texans. In the DraftKings format, Stevenson has some value. DeAndre Swift posted a bet for him in the Patreon page. Make sure to check that out. He went 13 for 54, 1 TD on the ground, 2 catches for 38 yards, has runs of 50 yards in 6 of 7 games. In that time span, he's averaging 13 carries and 70 yards per game with scores in 7. He has 2 catches in 3 of his last 4. Rams do struggle defending the running back in the passing game in the DraftKings format. I'm definitely interested in DeAndre Stevenson. And the Bears are going to be without their best linebacker. Hello, Blake Corum. Hello, Kyron Williams. Definitely am interested in both of those two backs, whatever. This Bears defense, if you take out turnovers, Bears defense is 30th in EPA per play. And again, I don't think a veteran quarterback like Matt Stafford is going to be turning over the ball, especially with Puka, Devontae, Higbee, all those tight ends, and these running back duo. So this defense can be got. This Ram stack, I'm liking more and more the more we talk.
Yeah, Swift, Stevenson. I'm starting to build a lineup now. Getting Stafford, Puka, and Devontae Adams in is tough, and Colston Loveland is tough. Loveland's price went way up, but it can be done in terms of value running backs, like the Blake Corums.
Love Blake Corum.
Blake Corum, Kyle Monangai, Nick Chubb. These are sort of, the guys who are, and I guess Travion Henderson. You consider him, I consider him the backup.
He's the most frustrating person in the world. I mean, for whatever reason, it's just the Stevenson game. The gamble.
Here's the fear: if Stevenson comes out and fumbles early, which he has been known to do, then he'll be gone the whole game. So that's the fucking problem too. So the running back position, real shaky. Love me some Swift. I agree with you. I'll have DeAndre Swift. What about Kyron Williams? He's most expensive, but they always take him out. He's out of the game way too much.
Mm-hmm.
Way too much, in my opinion. He's just
looking at his numbers last week, 13 carries, only 57 yards, 2 catches for 18 yards. 57 yards was a low since week 11. Since week 11, he's averaged 76 rushing yards, 15 carries. His road average is only 71. Has 2 grabs and 4 straight. Had 94 yards and 4 catches last time they played. But yeah, they're just not giving him the ball as much. Maybe as the playoffs progress, they'll start leaning on him a little bit more. But definitely this Bears defense is awful. Their best linebacker is out. You're going to be able to run on them. If it is a little bit windy, maybe they will lean on the run a little bit more because that stadium is right on the lake.
Yeah, makes sense. Let's get to wide receivers. Nico Collins, the big news, right? So obviously bumped to Jalen Noel, Jaden Higgins, and then last week's darling Christian Kirk just decided to go absolutely bonkers and just ruin the day early, right? Let's just fuck over everything real nice and early. Sitting at 4,100, so they're going to be popular. Big boost to them. Oh, shit. Sorry, dropped my earpiece. It's hard for me to envision not playing both Puka and Devontae Adams. If you're going to pick one, I know Adams is cheaper, and he's got that red zone. But it looks like it's Puka time, right? Stafford gets it. This is the best receiver in the league. It's a concussion, so I don't think he has any sort of say in this for Nico Collins. But Christian Kirk would be the number one for me in terms of value play wide receivers. Luther Burden sitting at 47. You got Kayshon Boutte, Higgins, all these guys. Jalen Noel at 3,600. Hutchinson, 3,400. Snow game. So it sucks because the value's with the Texans, but I don't like the Texans passing game, especially in the conditions in New England. What do you think here?
Devontae Adams and Puka, no-brainers. Luther Burden, 3 grabs in 9 straight games, has 1 score. Has gone a combined 6 for 87 in his last 2 games. You mentioned Kayshon Boutte. Over the last 3 games, he has gone 8 targets, 4 receptions, 70 yards, has 1 touchdown in the last 7 games. He had 3 catches for 59 yards and a touchdown the last game they played. We got Stephon Diggs, has gone 6 for 100 in 2 of the last 4. He has only 1 touchdown in 7 in the last 7. Has 2 games of over 50 yards. I think they're going to lean on Stephon Diggs a little bit more. This is why you went on and got him. Kevin mentioned Jaden Higgins. He is the direct Nico Collins replacement. So he is going to be that first read. So Jalen Higgins definitely has some value. 4 targets, 3 catches, 39 yards. First game in 5 with 3 catches, has 1 game of over 40 yards, but he's going to be getting all the Nico Collins love. So definitely love him. I'm going to fade Christian Kirk. I think he's going to be a little bit not overpriced, but over-owned after that game he had. Puka is Puka. No point in talking about him, but that's kind of where my head is. Definitely love the Jaden Higgins thing, as Kevin mentioned in the chat.
Yeah, and just a couple of guys who could be down on the radar. If you're looking for these tournament dart throws, you're building 100 lineups, and you want a guy like Eric Chisholm III. They've really do some weird things with him with the Patriots. If you're looking to get down the list, Demario Douglas could be interesting. Again, Texans have a really good secondary, so it's probably going to be one of these tertiary guys, right, that they're not paying a ton of attention to. That makes things happen. That's sort of where my mind's at when I look at the Kyle Williams. Maybe he gets stuff like that. And again, I mean, I think you got Christian Kirk now. Sometimes chalk is good chalk, and at 4,100, the pivot would obviously be to Higgins at 46 if you could afford it, or Jalen Noel down at 3,600. I guess real dicey there. Tight ends. Got some good tight ends in this one. Got Loveland at the top at 5,500. Hunter Henry, 4,500. Dalton Schultz, Cody Parkinson, Tyler Higbee, who's been making some. Cole Kmet sitting there. Turd Ferguson's going to play. Guy who likes to ruin everything. I fucking hate that guy. Terrence Ferguson for the fucking Rams. Fuck him. Yeah. Current lineup I played 2 tight ends again. I like doing the tight ends and the flex for salary savings. I got Loveland and Hunter Henry. Cody Parkinson's really interesting to me as well. What do you think at tight end?
I love Hunter Henry. 5 targets, 3 catches, 64 yards, 1 TD, has 3 grabs in 4 straight games. In that time span, he's averaging 51 yards. He has scored in 3 straight games. Tyler Higbee, 3 targets, 2 catches, 45 yards, has gone 7 catches, 136 yards, and 1 TD on 9 targets in his last 2 games. Had 68 yards on 5 catches the last time the Rams and the Bears made. Colston Loveland is probably going to be our tight end 1 going into next season. He has 3 straight games of 90 yards, averaging 107 yards, 8 catches, 13 targets. You mentioned Parkinson had that touchdown, has 1 game in the last 10 of 55 yards. He's only averaging 37, has 9 scores in 10 games. And my boy Dalton Schultz, I think we're going to see Nico lean heavily on Dalton Schultz. He scored 2 touchdowns in the last 5 games, had 27 yards in the last meeting.
Yeah, I think playing 2 tight ends on Sunday, pick your combo. Henry, Loveland, Schultz, Parkinson to a lesser degree. I think all that is absolutely in play. Although I would say tight end 1 next year is Trey McBride. I mean, come on. It's Trey McBride.
You know what? I totally fucking forgot about Trey McBride, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
it's if someone takes Loveland over Trey McBride,
Loveland too. Colston Loveland too.
Maybe you got Brock Bowers. We'll see the quarterback situation with the Ravens.
I mean, dude, all I know is this: if you draft a rookie quarterback who hasn't taken a snap under center since he was in high school, you know what I mean? Hard to trust. I totally forgot about Trey McBride. That one's on me.
Trey McBride did it with Jacoby Brissett. I mean, what a stud. Trey McBride.
I just want the Bears to lose because I have to listen to one more motherfucker when I'm checking out of the store or leaving a store say bear down. I'm going to fucking lose it. Like, I just want the Bears to lose, man. Like,
that's how I felt about the Packers last week. So I'm really happy that the Packers lost. I'm actually rooting. I'd rather the Niners play the Bears. I think we could beat both. But there we go. Kevin, big Bears fan. Kevin here. He is a huge Bears fan. He's literally a huge Bears fan. There he is. Defenses. Right now, I got the Patriots in. They're the most expensive. And you got Texans, Rams, Bears. To me, it's Patriots or bust.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer in my eyes right there.
And the pivot, I think the pivot is the Rams. If just Caleb and them fall apart, just can't figure it out. But I would say Patriots defense for me all day long. What about the Texans D? Any interest in that? I mean, they're the best defense on the board in terms of overall talent.
They're the best defense, but my thing is they struggle with mobile quarterbacks and they struggle against the screen game. So in my head, I can put a path because I think Josh McDaniels is pretty smart. So, I mean, I think the Patriots rolling, dude. As crazy as it sounds.
I think so, too. So I have a little lineup here I made. Just tell me what you think here for Sunday. Stafford, Swift, Stevenson, Puka Nacua, Luther Burden, Christian Kirk, Loveland, Henry, and Patriots D. I could not afford. If you want to go way cheap at flex, you can get Devontae Adams in as well. But stacking the Rams as much as I can. Just trying to stay away from that Houston-New England game as much as possible, besides the running game. I think Stevenson does a lot. A sense there. Again, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, the only thing would be is if you pivot from Higgins to Kurt. I mean, that would be the only thing.
Right. Sure. And then you have to just change it up a little. You'd have to go cheaper. You could go like Schultz and Henry or something like that. Again, you got to pick your combination there. Again, we appreciate you guys. Please like, subscribe wherever you're watching. Share it out with your friends. Come check out the Patreon. The link's in the video description below. All that good stuff. From myself and Eric, enjoy divisional weekend. Hope your favorite team wins. Let's go Niners. Let's fucking go. We will see you guys next week for the conference championship. And as usual, good luck on all your future wagers.